Well, good morning everybody and welcome to that Kentuckessee Angler Show. In today's video, we're going to be fishing and exploring two beautiful bodies of water, working with 6 different soft plastic swim baits, and then we're going to rank them. So bait wise, we're going to be getting finessey with it. Each one of these soft plastics is in between 2 and 3 inches, what I'd consider a good finesse soft plastic swim bait. Rigging wise, it's going to vary. Location 1 where we're fishing today, we're going to be working with a 1/4 ounce jig head. It just works better here. So rod wise, we're going to be working with mediums. I got a medium spinning, a medium casting. We'll get into that a little more later, but let's get started with bait number 1, the Rapala 2.5 inch Mayer. I got it in 2 different colors. Let's get these out on the water and see what we can do. So the area we're starting out in, the area we're fishing right now, is still fairly new to me. A quick breakdown of it. Basically, it's a ton of riprap. This is a nice public area. It's easy on the body, easy walking here, not too much jumping over crazy stuff. However, riprap running as far as the eye can see. There are some features that pop. We have some overhanging trees. We got some like offshore rock piles you can observe. I'm sure there's a ton of stuff out there I haven't discovered yet. However, I'm pretty confident we're going to be able to knock some baits off right over here. So we're going to be starting out with our chartreuse rigged on a 1/4 ounce jig head. Each of these baits weighs between 8 and 10 grams. I'm not sure if I already said that in the intro or not. I was pretty excited trying to get out on the water. Fish wise, we're working with a wide variety. So we have smallies, spots, largemouth in the bass department, and a wide variety of other species. This area, again, is still pretty new to me, so I'm not really sure what to expect. This is only my 3rd time fishing it. Action wise, this thing absolutely thumps. I am a big fan of this bait. Majority of the baits I'm going to be fishing in this video I have worked before. However, there is a wild card. I do have a new one I haven't fished with, but most of these are tried and true, and I'm a big fan of each one. So we'll see how they perform in this heat and these different bodies of water. Right now, as you can see, we are fishing a bigger river, so I wanted to go with that 1/4 ounce jig head over here. Wow, not a bass. There's no way. And so our quest begins. Nothing at spot 1. I did fish it for a hot minute. I kind of wanted to knock that skunk off there. It didn't happen. No one said it was going to be easy. We are questing around the area. I've made a super long trek to a spot I haven't fished yet, to a stretch I haven't fished yet. We'll see if it provides anything at all. There's a lot of gar activity out here. I'm pretty confident that the 3 baits I brought with me today, the 3 paddle tails I wanted to fish here, we're going to be able to catch a fish on each one. Big old carp. There's a ton of carp activity in this area. All right, we're coming up on a little spot I just identified. Give me a fish. Give me a fish. After that walk, we deserve one. Getting our steps in out here. Oh my gosh, dude, huge brim coming up. Good fish. All right, there's our first one. Yeah, nice largie. Our first fish of the day, and boy, am I thankful for you, buddy. Beautiful, man. Well, there we go, guys. Our first fish of the day in a beautiful, plump, healthy looking little largie. Let me give you some better lighting so you can admire him like I am right now. Gorgeous fish, first paddle tail, knocked out, and that took a minute. It was a little more challenging than I had anticipated. I thought by now we would have caught a handful, but first fish down. Let's get on to our next bait. Thanks for biting, buddy. And here we go. Thanks for biting, my friend. Bait number 2, the Mr. Twister Sassy Shad, the 2.5 inch version. So same length as our other bait, brighter color. We're working with white pearl. Let's get these rigged up and see what we can do. And here she is, all dressed up on our 1/4 ounce jig head and looking sassy. Let's see what kind of action we're working with, man. All right, she's got a much tighter wiggle to her. Not bad though, not bad. I think we can get shredded on this. We're gonna continue to fish out this little area and hop on the road after a couple casts. Did give us our first fish. I would be crazy not to throw a couple more casts here. The water is slightly deeper than the surrounding area, at least right off the bank. The riprap's steeper, and there's a lot of big chunk rock here. That's one of the reasons it kind of stood out for me, and one of the reasons I wanted to really put in a little more time in this area. So we got a big old barge rolling through. A lot of barge traffic here, but we're coming up on a spot that looks good. I've said that about 20 times. We've been fishing this for a hot minute now, trying to get bit. All right, so another really trashy looking area. It's hard to tell what's garbage from people and what washed up here. But we do have a nice trim. I'm imagining it's from people. This looks like a really great spot. Probably like a panfish mecca out here. There we go, fish on. We got one, we got one. Oh no, tree biter, doesn't count, didn't touch it. So I'm determined to catch a fish on this bait. Really struggling. Also dealing with my paddle tail, getting hung up on the hook a lot. Like 1 out of 3 casts, man. Sometimes when I'm not even twitching the bait. We're gonna come back down to the area where I caught that OG bass in, and I saw a lot of activity out on the water. It looks like it's still shaded up a little bit, and we're gonna cast around there and see what we can do. Really kicking myself for losing that tiny little bass, man. All right, guys. So I know that there's gonna be a fish in that brush pile. 100%, dude, 100%, without a doubt. Can we get him to eat this thing? There we go, good fish, man. Yes, come on in. Come on in. This like equals me catching a monster bass, even though it's tiny, dude. It's not that tiny, it's actually a pretty nice smallie. Yeah. Thank goodness. We recording? Yeah, we're all good. That would have been devastating. All right, there we go. Boy, am I thankful for this one. Look at this gorgeous little smallie, man. I was struggling, dude. You come to a point, well, let me get this fish back in. Beautiful smallie. Thanks for biting, buddy. I really appreciate it. Hey, we got a largie, we got a smallie. We might be able to pull a spot from this area. I am determined to catch another fish. It's getting extremely hot. That sun is high in the sky, man. We're dealing with some 90s today. Let me get you out there the best I can. And on to our next paddle tail. The twister is down. There comes a time where it really just feels like you're throwing plastic in the water and you start getting deep in thought, not thinking you're gonna be catching any fish. We were well past that. I fished that bait for at least an hour and a half, maybe more. I spent the good portion of this day. I mean, we got that first fish really quickly. This one was a struggle. Bait number 3, the Spark Shad by Mega Bass. The color is USA Albino. It's a 3-incher. Let's get this bad boy rigged up. Let's get her on the water and let me hydrate myself right quick. All right, so back down to our little spot. We're gonna continue to fish this area out. She's got a lovely action to her right there. Another really tight wobble, but I'm loving the way that blue hue really pops in this water. Let's see what we can do. Throwing back at that little kind of brush pile type area. It's a snag. I thought it was like a first cast fish. I was gonna lose it. We got it back. So we have reached our next destination and it's pretty sunny, but we got some shade right there under that tree. We might go retreat under there after I fish it out for just a little bit. I have pulled fish out of this area before. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I'm actually seeing some activity right now. So let's get this bait in there. Let's knock off the old Spark Shad. Good fish, yes. Okay. She's not huge, but she's something. That's what we're looking for right now. Another beautiful smallie. That really didn't take too long. There we go, my friends. A gorgeous little smallie. Super thankful for it. Just munch that Spark Shad. Thanks for biting, buddy. Appreciate it. Well, there we go, my friends. We're gonna continue to fish the area, but I've knocked off all 3 paddle tails I brought with me for this area today. And I'm feeling pretty good about it. It's scorching. I mean, it's just absolutely blazing out here right now. I'm surprised that smallie was just right out there in the open. We're gonna continue to fish around a bit, but we've been out here for a good 3.5 hours. Majority was fishing that sassy shad. So it is day number 2 and our adventure begins in a beautiful Tennessee creek. Terminal wise, we're downsizing. We're still working with ball head jigs, but we've downgraded our weight to 1/8 of an ounce. It's gonna work better in this creek. We got some sickle types, we got some round bends. Between the 2 of these, we'll find a good fit for the 3 baits we're working with today. And that brings us to bait number 4, the Kitech Easy Shiner, the 3-inch version. We got 3 different colors on hand. We got some in red, we got some in sight flash, so you're kind of off-white color, and we have some natural looking ones. The color is electric shad. Let's get these rigged up. Let's get them on the water. Let me get that skunk off my back. We're gonna be alternating between a light BFS rod, a medium light spinning rod, and we have our Kitech rigged up on that 1/8 ounce ball head with a sickle type hook. The color is Sight Flash. I am starting out with the spinning gear. Don't look at my spool. I hastily re-spooled it this morning and it's lopsided. There's typically a fish right over here. Let's try to start out strong before we really get into exploring this creek and kind of making plans on which way to head. It's a big old creek, so it's really gonna determine the success of our day. I'll tell you right now, this bait has an outstanding wiggle to it. Just take a look at her. Man, that tail kicks. We should be able to pull our first fish from right over here, though the water is super duper shallow right now. There's typically, oh, there's something right over there, okay. Maybe a little baby bass. We'll give it a shot. There we go, fish on. Awesome. Awesome. That didn't take too long. Okay, I was a little bit concerned when I saw our water clarity. What are we working with? Itty bitty. Well, there we go, guys. Our first fish of day 2, an itty bitty juvenile little largemouth. Really probably took me like 4 casts to catch it. Super thankful for you, buddy. You gave yourself away with that little topwater bite, munching a bug or something. Thanks for biting though. Knocking off the old Kitech. So considering we caught that fish so quickly, we're gonna continue to throw it around. I'm actually trekking right over here. This stuff looks good. Wish I would have casted at this grass line before walking up on it. I'll say that much right now, but right over there in the grass, that looks juicy. Decent depth over here too. Did not think it would be so deep. We'll throw our red out here. Red Kitech deployed. Oh, fish on, fish out. There we go, there we go. What are we working with? Little rock bass, species number 2. There we go, guys. A little thicky, a little chubby little rock bass right there, man. Right out of the area I thought she'd be sitting in. So bait number 5, and I mentioned we have a wild card out here, a bait I've never thrown before, and it's this one, the Berkeley Power Bait Drip Swimmer. The color is Spot Tail Shiner. It's a 3-incher, and fish hold on 18 times longer, so it is one of those scented baits. Let's get her out of the packaging, take a look at it. All right, we got staples. I'm not going to complain about clamshells in this video because like all these baits are in clamshells, I promise. I know I complain about them all the time. Okay, so here's a look at her. Got a tiny little paddle tail on there. Good looking bait though. I like the color. I'm a bit concerned with the stainage we're working with right now. It doesn't actually smell that horrible. Kind of smells like crayons. This is only a 6-pack and this is a very snaggy creek, so I am a bit concerned. This little area though we stumbled upon seems pretty good. So she rigs up okay. This might be an instance where I opt for that smaller round bend if we start getting snagged. That's a whole lot of hook right there. We'll see what we can do. What does she look like in the water? Okay, well I can see her very, very faintly. That might be a good thing. If we throw this right in front of a fish's face, it's probably gonna eat it. I'm not gonna lie, she looks great. Kind of hard to tell in this stainage what that little tail's doing, but looks like it's paddling. All right, now I'm thinking there's probably gonna be fish up in this grass line. Looks super duper snaggy though. I'm thinking right here, kind of in this nook, there's gonna be fish. I'm pretty sure that's where we pulled our last one from. We'll start out kind of like right in front of this grass and run her a little bit high. But we do have a nice little pocket over there. That's where most of these fish are gonna be, around flows. We got some flow right here. And in these pockets. Okay, terrible cast right there. Nothing to write home about with that one. Maybe up by this grass line. I can't tell how shallow that is. It looks super shallow. We're about to go reposition over there. Oh yeah, that's some shallow stuff. But if it, okay, we got one. We got one. Hey, there we go. What are we working with? It's definitely a bass. A little thicker, dude, a little thicker. Well, there we go, a nice healthy looking largie, a little bit bigger than the first one we caught. The fish in this creek aren't huge. This is like an average size fish for this creek. There are some big ones in here. We might get lucky, we might get on to a big old 2-pounder, but for the most part, probably what we're gonna be working with, fish around this size. Smallies tend to get a little bigger than this though. what am I saying? I think on average, they probably are a little bit bigger than that. So 2 baits down, and we haven't been fishing all that long. We're actually gonna trek up to this area. I haven't really fished a lot. This is surprisingly deep. It's a lot deeper than I thought it was. But that's gonna be a crazy camera angle. But we got a little grass line here. Who knows, man? Maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to pull a fish. I'm thinking heavy flow and shade lines. I mean, that's just the answer summertime creek fishing every time. But today in particular, it's gonna be super duper hot out. I'm gonna try not to complain about the heat the entire time, but we're gonna fish out this area. If it doesn't work out, we'll go hit a sure thing. Yeah, so this stuff looks super duper shallow. Could it be holding? Yes, definitely. We pulled that last bass out of some super shallow stuff. Okay, so we got our flow right here. Nice beefy grass line. Little pocket by the grass line. Looks snaggy. Could be holding fish. Is that a rock, dude? Did I? Oh, that's a fish. That's a fish. Yes. What are we working with? Oh, she's gone. Looked like another largie. Try that again. Good fish. I mean, that looked like an excellent staging point right over there. They fight so hard in this current with this BFS stuff. Come on in. Rock bass. All right. So that's 2.5 on the Berkeley, forget the name of this one, HD thing. Very cool. And she held up very, very well. I mean, just look at that. Look at that right there. Beautiful little rock bass. There we go. And off she goes, just in time. Who knows if that camera actually picked up this footage. So we are on to our final bait. Bait number 6, the 2.7-inch Divine swim bait by 6 cents. The color is Pro Blue. Let's get these rigged up. Oh, clamshell. We're just gonna grab a handful of these and stick them in my pockets because we're about to be fishing some probably pretty snaggy stuff. I want to throw a couple more casts in this stream right quick, but let's get them all rigged up. So we're on our way to our next spot, another faster flowing area with a bit of grass. I'm thinking those are going to be the spots that are really, really hitting today. Before it gets too hot out here, let's see if we can knock this bait off. And here we go. We'll path through the woods. Okay, so this is what we're working with. I want to walk a bit out here and fish up on this grass line. This down here, this flow, looks like a really great staging area for fish. Maybe we'll throw a couple casts from here so I don't spook everything, maybe hiding out over there. And really, we're avoiding the sun at all costs right now for the camera's sake. They're gonna overheat in like 2 seconds out here. Let's see how deep this is. There we go. Fish on, fish on. Super tiny little fry. Thanks for biting, little buddy. Our first, hard to tell when they're this young. I want to say that's a spot. All right, so we're just gonna walk our way right out here and throw some at this lovely grass line. There we go, fish on, fish on, fish on. Actually feels pretty, oh. So that fish hurt a lot. That was a nice fish. That was the nicest one we've had hooked today. It's really a pick your poison thing. These round bends, I mean, that hook's itty bitty. In this current, it's really, really hard to keep them pinned with something like that. With the sickles I brought, they get hung on just about everything, so. We're gonna continue to use these for these little like nooks and cranny type situations where there's probably fish hiding out. There we go, fish on, fish on, fish on. Decent. Smallie. Bruh. We're just out here losing fish, man. It's the nature of these flows. I swear I'm not bad at fishing. There we go, fish on, fish on, fish on. Oh, it's nice, it's nice, it's nice, it's nice. Is it nice? No, it's not even that nice. That flow is crazy though. All right, I'm not losing you. I am not losing you. Beautiful smallie. How about the size of the one we lost? That's a decent smallie for this creek. She's absolutely beautiful, man. Really, really pretty one. I don't know if this lighting is gonna do her any justice. Let's stand right here. There you go, take a look at her, man. Isn't she stunning? But get her back in and pull another one. So that's like, I'm pretty sure we're missing smallies, and I think they're decent. They're like this and up over here. That's like 2 fish lost. Caught this one back to back. Good area, maybe. We're gonna do a little bit of investigating, but the divine sixth sense paddle tail is knocked out. Beautiful. All right, guys, so I've been dying to throw a cast up here in this grass. Not what I was looking for. Will it get us bit? Possibly. There's some big chunk rock below me. I can feel it. So good spot. There we go, right up in that shade line. Oh, we got a fish on. There we go. Oh, decent. Is it? I don't know. It's shrinking. She's shrinking. Try not to break another rod. Nice largie. Well, there we go. Nice largie. And this one was fired up, dude. She drew blood. She spined me, man. Wiggling like crazy. Spit that bait right off the hook. Okay, well, obviously there's nice fish in this area. I want to keep fishing it. I mean, that's super pretty. Maybe, looks like there's kind of a pocket up here. We're just going to start rotating through our baits, I guess. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Okay, this is deep. We're gonna fish this. We're gonna fish it from back here. Okay, so there's gonna be fish up here. Probably smaller. Maybe we can get a bigger one on. That's like the area I wanna hit. Try that again. We're on. Smallie, another one. Beautiful. Spined me again. These fish get so charged up in these streams. Another really pretty one. Love that gold speckling. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the video to this point. Drop a like, comment, subscribe. As a small channel, it really does a lot to help me out, and I greatly appreciate it. Now, as we get into this ranking, I just want to put it out there right now. This is all my personal opinion. I had a great time making this video. Again, it's my opinion on these baits and how they performed in this video. I am going to be basing this ranking off of these baits' durability, their price point, and their overall on the water performance. I'm also taking into account, of course, bass are bass. A good day is a good day, a bad day is a bad day. When those fish are hungry, they'll eat just about anything. On a tougher day, you'd be hard pressed to get them to look twice at the greatest bait in the world. Day one, bit of a struggle out there. Day two, absolute slam fest. Now let's get into the ranking. Number 6 and our lowest ranked bait, the Mr. Twister Sassy Shad. So we were working with the 2.5-inch version in this video, and that's gonna weigh in at roughly 3.43 grams. I did weigh all of these baits ahead of time, and I weighed them raw. So without terminal, without a jig head, just the weight of the plastic. I'm gonna place that information along with the length on the screen if y'all wanna check that out. Durability wise, I was impressed. This bait was very, very durable. It was one of the most, if not the most durable bait I worked with in this video, and I fished it longer than any other lure. I threw it in a lot of sketch places, under trees, brush piles, rock piles, popping out snags, that sort of deal. Really didn't experience any mega issues when it comes to slippage or rippage. I was pretty impressed with this bait's durability. Price-wise, for pricing on these baits, we're dealing with Academy pricing. I live right down the street from Academy. I like shopping there. Bought all these baits there with an exception for this one. So this is an outlier. I had to go with Bass Pro Shop pricing. I have these for a while. I wanted to incorporate them in the video, see how they perform out there on the water. So, you know, I grabbed them up. I can't find a listing online at Academy. They don't sell them there. So for this bait and only this bait, we're gonna be working with Bass Pro Shop pricing. It seemed like a good middle ground price. Every other lure is gonna be Academy, all right? Academy has good middle ground pricing as well. This bait is $3.79 for a 10 pack. That's what it's listed at currently at Bass Pro Shops, at least online at Bass Pro, and that rounds down to 38 cents a piece per paddle tail, which is an outstanding deal, okay? That's the lowest price we're working with in today's video, and it's gonna start looking a lot friendlier as we get into some of these other baits. Lastly, we have our on the water performance. So I always try to approach all of these baits in all my videos with respect and tact and honesty above all, as somebody put a lot of time and effort to create this and wanted to make an absolutely stellar bait. So when it comes down to this bait's performance, it was very, very frustrating for me to fish, right? I'm just gonna put that out there right now. So first off, it was hot out, right? It was scorching hot. I put a lot of time into this bait. There's no doubt in my mind that if you threw this in front of a fish's face, it'd absolutely chomp it. I mean, it looks like a bait fish. It's a good looking bait, it has a great width to it, which creates a lot of flash, and that's what really got me excited about fishing this lure. However, I really ran into the issue of my tail getting caught around my jig head, and this happened over and over and over again. Could it be the jig heads I was using? Yes. Was it a problem with any other bait? No, no problem whatsoever. Do I aggressively twitch my paddle tails? I absolutely do. Was that the source of the problem? No, not really. Immediately within, it was probably 1 to every 3, 4, 5 casts, I'd throw this in there, a good amount to be a consistent issue. As soon as it hit the water, I felt my tail wrapped around my jig head. So there's that, man. Is it worth it? Is it worth getting? That's up to you. For me personally, it was not worth it. I was very, very hot. I was just trying to get a fish, and it was great frustration to me to cast this in and be like, oh, this looks like a nice fishy area, and immediately feel my bait's action compromised. So I had a hard time with that. What I did do is order the 3-inch version. So there is a 3-inch version, and I'm gonna try this on various jig heads. We're gonna fish the bigger version and the smaller version, different rigging, and we're gonna see if we can make this bait pull through, because this is really a great deal when it comes to the price and the durability. I just can't stand that tail getting wrapped on my hook. So that's why we're sitting at number 6 right now. Number 5, the Spark Shad. So I really like this bait, and I have fished it a lot, but there's a good reason why she's sitting at number 5 right now. We were working with the 3-inch version of this bait, that weighs in at 4.3 grams, roughly. So all these baits do vary from pour to pour, but it does make this our heaviest competitor right here, and it's not a bad thing. I like the extra weight behind it, but I did weigh it a couple times. I had to take a quick double take after looking at all these numbers compared. This bait does not excel in the durability department. I rig it on a jig head, I have rigged it on a screw lock, and you get a good hit, you pop out a couple snags, you start slipping down, and it's really like every time you retrieve that cast, it's gonna be hanging off your jig head. At least that's what I experienced. I don't think many people would argue that. It's not the most durable bait in the world. Price-wise, we're talking $8.99 for a 6-pack. That's $1.49 per paddle tail, which has it tied as our most expensive bait fished in this video. But the performance, this bait's absolutely outstanding. I mean, it's got a nice sleek design. I love it. I'm very, very confident with it. You throw it in the water, it kind of darts in one direction really quick. You take control, you have an excellent tail wobble. I know if there are fish in the area that are gonna munch a paddle tail, this bait's absolutely gonna get shredded. Good confidence bait, so not the most durable, not the cheapest bait we're working with. It's pretty expensive, let's be real. And it has an absolutely awesome action. That's gonna earn this bait a number 5. Number 4, with a length of 3 inches and a weight of 2.45 grams, we have the Berkley Drip Swimmer. Now, I no longer have the packaging for this bait, and I do apologize, however I showed in the video if you're seeking it out. It's just your standard kind of Berkley clamshell right there. I was really, really impressed with this bait, okay? So I was in the store, I was at Academy, I wanted to do 6, I needed 1 more candidate, and it was down to a couple, right? I had this in my hand, I put the packaging back actually because of how small that paddle and the tail was, and I grabbed it last minute. I said, all right, you know what, I'm gonna give it a shot, and I'm really glad I did because I was impressed, I gotta say. Overall, durability, not bad. It really wasn't. Eventually, I started running into some face splitting issues as I continued to re-rig this bait. It wasn't outstanding. It's not the most durable bait in the world, but I'd say it's a good middle ground durability for like a soft plastic paddle tail right there. A good 5 out of 10, right? Definitely a little more durable than the Spark Shad. That's the reason why this one's ranked above it right now. So price-wise, This is another $8.99. So another, what was that, $149, yes, per singular paddle tail right there. So another pretty pricey one. This is tied with the Spark Shad for the most expensive bait fished in this video. However, the performance was outstanding, right? So that little paddle tail did thump and this bait just got bit. I had my doubts. I thought this was gonna be the hardest bait to catch a fish on in this video. As soon as I saw that creek stainage, I was like, ooh, we're gonna be in for a tough one. I'm gonna have to literally put this right in front of a fish's face to get it bit, but I didn't have any issues, man. It got absolutely chomped. It was fun to fish, and it's kind of different, man. So I enjoyed fishing it. All in all, it was decent durability-wise. Price, again, it's a little expensive compared to the other baits we use, but it had a really great performance. That's gonna give this bait a solid number 4 in our ranking scheme. Moving on to number 3, and we're working with the Easy Shiner by Kitech. So this is the 3-inch version we fished in this video, and it weighs in at 2.15 grams, making it our lightest bait thrown in this video. Durability wise, nothing to write home about, kind of on par with that Spark Shad. You get a good hit, you yank out a couple snags. This bad boy really starts slipping. I've rigged it all sorts of ways. I've never found one that overcomes the lack of durability. Price wise, $5.49 for a 10-pack. That's 55 cents per paddle tail, and that's our second most inexpensive paddle tail fished in this video. It's outstanding, man. I was actually kind of surprised at how inexpensive they were. I fish a lot of these baits. I typically don't really look at the price because it's a must for me when it comes to white bass fishing. I do a lot of that when it's cold out, and they can't resist this. It's like my go-to paddle tail for white bass stuff. And I gotta say, man, that price is very fair. You can see I have like 3 packs jammed into this right here. Performance-wise, this bait's outstanding. This is another great bait for really any species that eats bait fish. It's got such a great action. It's like the Yamasenko of paddle tails, right? It's not the most durable, but it's surely gonna get you bit out there. So Kitech, I respect you, I appreciate you. I'll continue to use you. You're a great deal, but due to the durability, really, that's kind of the defining factor right here. She's gonna be placed right there at number 3. We are on to bait number 2, the upper tier of the ranking process, and that's gonna be the Rapala Mayor. So we were working with the 2.5-inch version of this bait, and that's gonna weigh in at roughly 3.15 grams, which brings us to this bait's durability. It's pretty good. I'd say a good like 7 out of 10 in the grand scheme of things. It's not indestructible. This isn't TPE, however, it is good, nice gummy plastic, man. It sticks to your jig head well. You can re-rig it a couple of times. Overall, it's up there in durability. There are no issues in that department. Price-wise, we're talking $5.99 for an 8-pack, and I think that's a very fair deal when you take into account this bait's durability, which is pretty great, and its on-the-water performance, where I really think this bait really shines, and the reason she's sitting at number 2 right now. The very consistent action, it's finessey, man. It's got a nice profile. The overall design is fantastic. I feel comfortable fishing this bait in tiny nooks and crannies targeting pressured fish, where I also feel comfortable fishing this bait as like a search bait, covering a lot of water. You know, spot number 1, an area I'm not too familiar with. It's got a great action that displaces a lot of water, and I feel confident just all around fishing this bait. I guess I'm gonna just end it with that. I think it's a pretty fantastic paddle tail, and we're gonna give it number 2. We are now on to our final boss and our number 1 ranked bait in today's video, the 6 Sense Divine Swim Bait. We fished the 2.7-inch version, and that's gonna weigh in at roughly 2.58 grams. Now, when it comes to the durability of this bait, it's outstanding. I'd rank it up there with soft plastic paddle tails I've fished before. It's definitely on par with that Mr. Twister Sassy Shad. You can re-rig this bait several times. You don't have to worry about some kind of issue where it's gonna constantly slip off your jig head, right? So good durability, definitely top tier durability on this bait. It's not TPE, it's not indestructible. However, for some gummy kind of standard plastic, it's up there. Price-wise, we're working with the 8-pack for $4.99. That's 62 cents a piece, and I think that's outstanding value when it comes to the caliber of this bait. So pretty good durability, Pretty good price. The on the water performance is absolutely outstanding. I put it on par with the Crush City, with the Rapala Mayor right now. They're very, very competitive in my mind. I had a hard time making this decision. The price was really the defining factor. Well, I would argue that this is an all-around better all-purpose swim bait. When you know where those fish are, this little finessey swim bait right here just gets it done. This is like my go-to smallie slayer. I've caught my PB smallmouth on this bait. I knew it would do good in the ranking, but honestly, in full transparency, I thought this would take the win. But that price, dude, it's really a great deal. It's a great bait. All around this paddle tail, it's consistent action. It's just ability to catch fish is really, really up there when you combine that with the very fair price, in my opinion, and the durability. I think it's a winner. I think it's gonna be our #1. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed the video today. If you like the ranking, the rating type stuff, I do have a playlist called Ranking and Rating, so you can find that under my playlist. Had a lot of fun making this video. Be good to yourselves, guys. Be good to each other, and I really hope you get some good fish on. It's hot. Stay hydrated out there, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.